Oh, sorry. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show.
Yeah?
It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah!
Woo!
What's going on? I'm Scott.
I'm Bill.
And this is
The Bill and Scott Cubicle Show.
And that's John, a.k.a. G-Dog. And do we have anybody in this casa behind us? And that's Pete Kelly, everybody.
He
there
put
he
doors
is.
on his fort.
Wow.
Saloon doors.
Wow.
Look at that. What a masterpiece.
So we got a crazy show planned for you today. Diddy wants to buy the Panthers. We got some JT talk. Coolio saying Eminem needs a chill or he might get killed. We got to jump right into that. Well, let's get into
Is
that
that what
one.
we're hitting first?
We got it. We got
All
The
right.
Rock running for president, all that type of stuff, but I think we had to start here.
I made a drum set out of my desk and some Coke bottles. Anyway, let's do it. Okay, so Eminem's album came out on Friday, as you may have heard.
Revival. Oh, John says, I guess it's a snooze fest right there. Is that what you meant by that? Wow, he took a shot at Eminem's album.
Did he just,
Wow.
wait a second.
Well, I heard that.
Did
You heard that. We all
G-Dog
heard that.
himself
He just
make
did
a
it.
value judgment on the quality of some music?
He did. He did.
That means we get to do
It's on
that
film.
now, right?
It's on
All right.
film. It's
So
on.
now we are officially critics.
No, really, what I was to clarify my snoring was basically the topics that you guys pick and choose and decide to do on your show.
So what would you
Had
have us?
nothing to do with Eminem's album, which is amazing.
What's the
Okay.
what's
it has
today's?
to do with your lack of preparation and going after the low-hanging fruit.
Oh,
Hold on.
when
Let's
it
do
comes
straight from the
to
dome of John Riley.
your-
Straight from the dome.
Your show.
What
So
would you have us talk? What would you talk about? What's
You
top
know-
story in John Riley land?
The Patriots winning yesterday.
Oh, my God.
Stealing that game. From
They
the
definitely
Pittsburgh,
stole it. Whoa.
Yeah.
I guess we get
The
stuff thrown
coasters
at
are
us over here.
flying.
Well,
Because
okay.
that's what we are. We're a couple of coasters.
So
we coast on
Eminem
pop culture momentum.
needs to chill out or he might get killed. That's what
Hold
Coolio's
on, we gotta
saying
tilt
here.
this back down. It's bothering me. Okay.
Inform the people.
There we go. Yeah, so TMZ caught up with Coolio. It was like going into the air. You know how they do. They just ambush celebrities with their cameras. Like, yo, so what do you think about this thing? Catch them totally off guard. More or less, he was like, I like the album. I like the direction that he's taken. He's critical of Trump because most music these days is party music. Kind of similar to what Post Malone was saying. People don't talk about anything real. And he said, well, do you think... The photographer was like, you think Trump's going to fire back? And he was like, I don't know, man. You never know when it comes to Trump. He called him a weirdo. He's like, Trump is a weirdo. And he said, quote...
Coolio will get attacked now, not Eminem.
Right. See, he said, quote, he might have Eminem killed. You never know. Don't be surprised if Eminem come up dead. Now, I think you're right. I agree with you. I don't think Trump is going to respond to Eminem at all. I don't think he's going to give him the validation of having a hit put on his head. I think he will. He might say something to Coolio about being called, maybe you might call him Weirdio.
Like,
You
who's
know?
this weirdo guy that used to live in a paradise full of gangsters?
Yeah.
Like, Gangster's
that's-
Paradise, which was a great song, by the way.
That's pretty much,
So there's not really too much there, except Coolio's offering Eminem a fair warning for no reason at all. Because, we live in, as much as you want to talk crap about Trump, it's not like he's a dictator and offs people's head for talking crap about him. So I don't think Eminem has to worry about that.
right.
But, all right, so The Rock, he's getting back into this presidential race.
Speaking of
Is that
presidency,
true here? Rockefeller 2020?
it's pretty much as soon as Donald Trump became like a legitimate contender for the office of president was when people started putting up all their other favorite celebrities that they would rather see be president, right? And The Rock has been one of the most oft-repeated names. Because you look at The Rock and you see him as kind of like he seems fun, but he also seems serious and respectable, and he seems like a nice guy, right? That's the kind of person you want in the White House, not, a big blowhard with a big mouth who can't take criticism. But he did say on Ellen the other day, quote, he is, quote, seriously considering a run for president. When I see that, I'm like, you're sitting on the couch on Ellen next to Kevin Hart. So, like, how seriously are we taking this? But then again, he followed, like, Variety did an interview with him, like, to follow up on all this stuff. And he was actually talking about how, basically, once the rumors started flying around, it made him realize how many people wanted to see him do that and would vote. And that he might actually have a chance of winning. And basically, it became to be a point of sounds like almost responsibility on his part. He's like, oh, this is what the people want. And, he's the people's champ. See, I wasn't too connected with WWE back in that era.
He is the people's champ. That
back
is
when it was WWF. But, right, so he's in it for the people. And he said, quote, in that, I knew I had to listen to the people and really, really think about it. That's where I'm at right now. I'm well aware politics is not the business I'm in, so the best thing I can do is continuing to listen and learn as much as I can.
That sounds actually more like politician, more political, more presidential.
Right.
Than a lot of stuff that's came out recently.
And it's almost as if, I don't necessarily think he even intended it, but it almost sounds like he's throwing shade, because what does Donald Trump not do but stop and listen and learn? He just goes. He just talks. Whatever comes into his brain comes out his mouth. So it looks like good old Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson wants to step back. Basically, say there's more. He went on for a while, but he wants to observe the political climate, kind of take stock of everything that Trump is doing, things he's doing right, the things he's doing wrong, and how you could best turn that into a successful presidency. He also said that it won't be in 2020.
Johnson has heart, 2024.
Right. He said it won't be 2020 because his film schedule is already set through 2021, and he doesn't have time.
Yeah, he's got to do Fast and Furious 8, 9, and 10. So.
And I think as much as I would be interested in seeing him in the White House, I don't want him taken away from my favorite film franchise. Ooh, can we segue that into film franchises?
Yes.
Former favorite film franchises?
Star Wars is not your favorite or former?
Former favorite. Okay.
Now, don't give out no spoilers.
Bear in mind, no spoilers. This is spoiler free. I do feel like if you're at all invested in Star Wars, you should have seen it by now. You had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But I realize that there are people who have schedules that don't allow for that. So I'm not going to spoil anything. I won't spoil anything for a long, long time.
It has to be at least a week.
At the bare minimum. I'm still not going to spoil anything for after a week. But what I will say is that The Last Jedi was disappointing. It was weird and bad. And
I completely disagree with that, but
and here's where it gets hard, because it's tough to discuss it without getting into the minutia and the spoilers and the details, but it just was not. It was not a good Star Wars movie, and honestly, I feel like it was not a good movie, like from a filmmaking standpoint, from a narrative standpoint, from like a story structure standpoint. There were choices that I just did not understand. A lot of stuff. It was also the longest movie in the series, over 2.5 hours, which is funny because there was a subplot that I thought could have been cut entirely from the film and it would not have suffered.
See, and I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it. I thought the movie was really great.
Good.
Pretty much everything that Bill said right there, I completely disagree with. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a super good movie. I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, I can't.
So we can't really spend any time on it.
We can't spend any time on it because I can't say.
What I will tell you is on the Jams 96.3 Twitter, we are asking you the simple question. What did you think of the new Star Wars movie? I loved it, or it's over for Star Wars. Right now, 100% of people say they loved it. So go to @Jams963. Participate in this poll question and let us know what you think of the new Star Wars movie, and we'll let you know the outcome.
Can you refresh that poll real quick?
I can in 1 second. Also, to follow up on our poll question from last week before we move along in today's Cubicle Show, do you gain weight in a relationship? 75% of people said the relationship 15 is real.
Of course they did, because it is real.
And right now we're at 50-50 for the Star Wars thing, and right after I make my vote, we're going to be at 66. So yeah, you're not going to win right now.
Who's the first person? Who are you? The very first person that voted.
Somebody that's smart and obviously agrees with me.
Look, okay, but actually, we can segue this into something that's relevant that we didn't plan on. I do want to spend some time on this.
What's that?
This basically confirms for me the theory that Disney pays critics. Okay, you know, Disney pays critics to give DC bad reviews. That's been a stay woke moment for a while. But freaking Star Wars has a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, and it's got a 53 or 56 from audiences. Okay, there should not be that huge of a discrepancy.
I'd say the audience is more close than the critics are, and what I would give it a score.
That's fair. I'll give you that. And also, I want to say, I did not have a bad time. I did not have a bad experience.
Here's the cleanup here.
I enjoyed it.
We're not talking about Taylor Swift. We're fine.
It entertained me, but it was not good. And I feel like I do feel like how I feel about Star Wars is how most people felt about Suicide Squad. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, for a movie this bad to get reviews that high, it just indicates to me that Disney is just throwing their money around.
56? What's 56?
56 user rating. Thank you.
Oh,
Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, that's just I was on board the conspiracy theory train about Disney paying off critics, and after that just sealed the deal. It's basically proven in a court of law of my mind.
When you make a movie that costs $100 million and there's not even 50 really legitimate critics out there, you just give them $1,000 each. You're going to write a positive review. That 50 G's is nothing when your budget's $120 million. Come on.
And if you think people can't be bought, you need to
wake up there. All right, so Diddy is trying to spend money and buy the Carolina Panthers.
What's the story behind this? I don't know. I saw the tweet.
So something about, I don't know the full story, but I think the owner of the team, some type of accusations are coming out, right?
Sexual accusations.
Oh, of course.
Sexual
comments towards some recruiters.
Okay, so sexual allegations,
is he a
racial
really old
comments
man?
for recruiters.
81
He's
years
81
old.
years
Okay.
old. He put out a letter on the team's website saying that, he thinks it's time for him to, turn the team over to new ownership and everything. So now Diddy is coming out saying he wants to buy the Panthers. He's like, oh, well, when I buy the Panthers, we'll have the greatest halftime shows. We will win. We'll win so much you'll get sick and tired of winning. He also said that he'll address the Colin Kaepernick situation right away.
Oh, by hiring Colin Kaepernick?
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? I do think Colin deserves a fair chance.
Yeah,
but
sure.
he's not better than freaking Cam Newton.
Yeah, he deserves a fair chance based on his skill.
Yeah, like Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton. That's why I know that the Panthers aren't going to win, and we're going to get sick and tired of winning that we're going to win so much. That's not going to happen right there. So, and plus, whatever the team would go for, so he'd have to get together, a bunch of people to go win, and he'd probably only own like 15% of it because franchise probably costs a couple $1 billion. So it's like
he's got a lot of money. He's
to
worth
buy
like,
it by himself.
He's worth what?
It's probably worth $1 billion.
So say if the organization is worth $1 billion,
Fact finders, go.
Right now, Bill is doing some research to see what P. Diddy's net worth is.
$820 million.
820.
$820 million. So he couldn't buy the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle on his own.
We'd have to put money down, just like any kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, so you get a mortgage? Do you get a football team mortgage?
Football mortgage. That's a big mortgage.
That
That's rich people problems and money that mortgages I will never know anything
These
about.
rich people need to just start paying cash for things like everybody talks about doing in all the songs that we play. Like, why don't you just plunk the money down? What are you afraid of?
Walk up with $1 billion.
Walk up,
worth of
$1 billion cash.
and a
It
hundos.
probably isn't.
Boom.
Like, look, you look at 100,000 like in dodgeball when he opens up the case, he's like, it's $100,000. That's like 3 stacks of money. There's probably not that much. You could probably fit it all in a box, right? $1 billion.
Yeah, definitely fit it in a
stacks of
box.
hundreds. How
Way
many?
more than a box.
How many? Okay, hon. Let's do some math here. Let me.
All right, so he's
How many,
doing that.
I'm just gonna Google how many stacks is $100 or $1 billion.
Well, depending on what your stack is. A
Like
stack is
$1,000,
$1,000, yeah.
right?
So
Yeah.
1,000 times.
Proof that $1 million isn't. How tall is 1 billion, or what does $1 billion look
Well,
like?
okay.
We are doing the Lord's work here today on the Cubicle Show.
Yeah, definitely
What
the
is
Lord's
this?
work here.
This looks like an email thread.
All right. Well,
forget
anyways,
this.
so today is also the most stressful day of the year.
According to a recent study, some study group said that December 18th is the time where we hit peak stress for the holiday season. Says that stress really starts to mount on December 1st when it kicks in. The Christmas is right around the corner, 24, just a couple weeks away. But that 18th is where it reaches ahead. And just here we are, just stressed out shells of our former selves.
Let me tell you, right? So I actually am done doing all my holiday shopping. I finished yesterday. Hallelujah. So I feel really good actually going into this week. I feel the best I've felt going into Christmas week in a long time. I don't have to worry about getting anybody's presents. Everything has already came in the mail, so I don't have to worry about, oh my God, is Amazon going to get it here in time, all that. So, I mean, they didn't interview me for that survey.
I was wondering why it peaks at December 18th and not 23rd.
I think it's
24th.
because you realize that you have like a week left for Christmas, so everything you had to do, you had to get it done within this week, and you got to take away one day because it's not open on Christmas Day. So I think it's just the fact that you're like a week away from it. You know, you're going to probably be having family come in. So now you got to prep for family members possibly coming in. You got to get all this food ready, all the kitchen preparing. You got to get your house together.
So it's close enough to Christmas where this is a real deadline, but it's still far enough out where you could put it off and make it more stressful for yourself. So that makes you worry about it. Plus this year with the 18th being on a Monday, and it's like, this is the last week before Christmas, and like we're going to be taking some vacation time. So in order to take vacation, you got to do a bunch of work to prepare. So I guess I kind of understand that. Plus, they did say that the way that people, the most common way for dealing with holiday stress is drinking. So let's. I'm going to crack open a cold one right here because I was thinking about doing this anyway.
Some quality CC
So it's,
Zero.
Coke Zero. Look at that. Stress gone.
Stress-free. So with that being said.
Oh, no, I don't do that. Not very often, anyway. Only on certain occasions.
Are you going to on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, because we get the Bailey Circle that we got to do. That's
Gotta
an
Bailey
important
Circle,
tradition.
the
This will
BC.
be the 8th annual Bailey Circle.
I'm going to join for my second time
That's right.
in the Bailey Circle.
It's a good time.
It is a great time. So with that being said, all week long, Santa Sack continues on. So listen for Santa Slide Down That Chimney. Be caller 9, then you'll choose a present.
Shout out to our boy Kyle, who watches every day and won Santa Sack this morning at 9.
Nice. Congratulations. So we're going to have Santa Sack going on all week long. Also, in 2 weeks, we are going to count down the top 96 songs of 2017. Me and this guy right here. So get ready
The
for
Cubicle
that.
Countdown.
That's coming
We're gonna
really
call it
soon.
that, right? Can we call it that?
The-
We gotta sprinkle that in at some point.
Yeah, it's the top 96 2017 with the cubicle clowns.
Wait, where's the cuckoo clock? What time is it?
Okay, so with that being said, Monday through Thursday, 10:30 Eastern Time.
Because that's the only time zone that matters.
Catch us right here on the Facebook page. See you tomorrow. Bye.
One. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show! That's what I'm talking about, boy! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. It's the Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Cubicle Show. Not a rectangle show. Not a triangle show. Not a pyramid show. It's a cubicle show. Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah? Bill and Scott Cubicle Show. Yeah! Cubicle Show. We're just gonna one. Boy!